The village of La Jolla is one of San Diego's most beautiful, charming, and walkable neighborhoods, and in this video, I'm gonna show you around. I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see what I can see. We're gonna explore the coast here in La Jolla, which La Jolla in Spanish literally translates to the gem or the jewel because it's so beautiful. We're gonna start here at La Jolla Cove, which is one of San Diego's best places for ocean swimming and snorkeling. We're gonna then head over to the children's pool where we'll see some of the local sea lion water life. We'll check out the shops and the restaurants up on some of the main streets like Prospect, and then we'll conclude by visiting my favorite beach here in the village of La Jolla, starting with La Jolla Cove right here. This beach is open all the time, 24/7. Today, there is not a lot of sand. The high tide is definitely in, but there's a viewpoint right here. There's some staircases to get to the bottom, and you can see tons of people out there with their snorkels, with their fins. A little bit of a beach right here, and you can see there's one California sea lion right here over on this rock. If you come at low tide, then the beach is definitely bigger. This is lifeguarded all year round. We've got the lifeguard station right there. There's a cool little cave that's off in the distance, and as we're looking across the way, the kind of like neighborhood of La Jolla is actually quite big. We're not going to explore all of it. We're exploring the village, but over here is La Jolla Shores. This is one of the best beaches if you've got kiddos and you want really a flat, sandy beach. There's a pier here called Scripps Pier that's part of UCSD. It is for research only and not public. And then this beach right here, this is known as Black's Beach. This is under the Torrey Pines Golf Course and State Park. Half of this beach is owned by the city of San Diego and is San Diego's unofficial nude beach, just because it's too hard for the lifeguards to go there and patrol it and give tickets, or the police. And then the other half of it is part of Torrey Pines State Park or State Reserve, which is a really beautiful hiking area. Those are some things you should check out while you're here, but because we're doing this all in the span of an afternoon's walk, it's way too far, way too far to walk. Okay, so as we're going up this way, you can also see some kayaks off in the distance. Pretty popular activity here in La Jolla is to kayak and kayak around these sea caves. The kayaks generally leave from La Jolla Shores down there, which if you're looking to stay in a hotel, there's also a hotel right there on the beach in La Jolla Shores, the La Jolla Town and Country Hotel. There's a cool restaurant over there called the Marine Room that is right on the sand. Now, this is looking back at La Jolla Cove. As we're here, there's a couple hotels right above it. There's the La Jolla Cove Hotel. You can see there's also like a lot of pelicans and birds and wildlife and sea lions over that way. Seagulls, really a great place to appreciate the marine nature. We see there's a bunch more right down here on this rock. And though I will say it can get smelly here because all of the poop on these rocks can start to stink a little bit. What are all these people looking at? These people are all looking at a whole bunch more California sea lions that are down there. So let's listen in to their growls. Yes, you can hear the and so this area is closed. They've closed off many of the areas with sea lions, but the La Jolla Cove stays open so that people can enjoy them. But definitely, if you do come here, don't get too close to the sea lions because they can get aggressive and charged. So definitely keep your distance. They have some signs to say like, stay back, don't take selfies with them. Why are they here? They are here to rest. and be smelly and be appreciated by us and get on camera. Here's the La Jolla Cove Bridge Club, where there's a club that comes together to play bridge, some cards. You can also rent it for weddings. We've got some more sea lions right down here. One's heading out to sea. We got a whole bunch more that are just resting on the beach. I'm recording this video in July of 2025. The air temperature is about 78 degrees today. Water temperature is about 68 degrees today. What's closed?
This area is closed.
Okay, not walking back that way.
Thank you.
Just shooting the sign. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Can people go in the water, like to swim?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry,
great.
what did you say?
All right. So right here from the sign, people can go out into the water and go for a swim, but not on the beach to like harass the sea life. Give them their space. All right, the friendly park ranger was just letting me that the sidewalk that I walked on to get there was closed, but I walked there. So anyway, maybe there needs to be someone on the other side. I'm not sure I understand. He was friendly about it though, so. All right, so this park, Scripps Ellen Browning Park, what is this famous for? This is famous as being the place where Dr. Seuss, the author of children's books, is said to have been inspired to draw his trees from the trees in this park. There used to be a tree in particular that was known as the Dr. Seuss tree. That one has indeed fallen, but some pretty interesting coastal trees that get formed by the wind that sweeps back that way and gives them that angle. I mentioned the high tide and the big surf today. Yes, the surf is quite big waves today. Down here, there are benches that you can sit and enjoy the view, picnic tables. This is a great place to enjoy the sunset as well. And behind the Bridge Club, there are also public restrooms. There are 2 sets of public restrooms here in the Jolla Village. The other one is around the children's pool that we're gonna get to in just a second. They got a lot of warning signs along the coast to tell you that the coast itself is dangerous, that these sandstone cliffs, they do fall, so the railing is here for a reason. Don't be one of the many people that they have to rescue who get stuck somewhere on the cliffs here. Not as much on these little cliffs, but definitely on those cliffs back there in Torrey Pines. People often get stuck on those hiking trails when they headed off the trail. All right, waves are a little quiet now. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the walk so we can get to the children's pool a little bit quicker as we check out that little beach. All right, here we go. Just wanted to pause here for my quick walk to check out this really cool viewing area right here. And then there's also a nice little cute sandy beach right down this staircase over here. All right, back to speeding up our walk. Okay, so right here, we're getting a good scenic shot of that children's pool. The last time I was here, this is where the harbor seals and the sea lions were. They were all in this area. It's been kind of controversial in San Diego whether to close this place off because the sea lions liked it, whether to close it off just for the wildlife or to open it back up to the public. And I don't know the details as to whether the seals just don't like being there anymore and they've migrated to a new spot and that's why people are on it, or whether they've opened it up to people and so the sea lions migrated away. Fellow explorers, I'm sure there's somebody watching this that does know the details of it, so let me know, I'm curious. Here, we've got a bunch of pelicans. Look at these big birds. These are the ones that you'll always see like flying in these like V formations. They often use the waves to surf on, waves to kind of like get the wind that comes up from the ocean wave to help them fly along. All right, so now that we're here looking at the cove, it does look like they still have the rope up to say where people can like enjoy the beach and where the wildlife should be. I still see some sea lions over here today, but my guess is with the big waves maybe that are breaking in here today, maybe the wildlife has found the natural rocks over there to be a better place to protect themselves from the big waves. But a really cool thing to do here is to walk along this seawall out this way. So we'll go ahead and do that and check out that angle. There are also restrooms and showers that you will find directly below the lifeguard station right here. And if you're trying to get down to the actual sand, you get down via a set of staircases that way. But we can also walk around this way, walk around the lifeguard tower. Okay, so this is, I grew up in San Diego and definitely was one of my favorite places to come as a kid. When the waves aren't big like they are today, then this is a very nice protected cove to swim in. Before we go down there, we'll just take a look down this way. And the beach we're gonna conclude with, one of my favorites in La Jolla, is about a half mile down this way that we'll rejoin after we've explored the commercial hub of all the shops and restaurants. Here's where we have the signs that say no selfies with the seals. And we see people coming down this seawall. This has been, it was built in the 1930s. So been here for a long time. Definitely the, the railings have seen better days. If the surf is high and you care about your electronics, don't hold them on the water side. Chris, do you care about your electronics? I do, but you can sort of see like the wet side and the dry side. So I'm keeping my camera over here on the dry side. All right, it's a narrow walkway, but it definitely feels a little bit like being on the edge of the earth over here. Uh-oh, my camera's on the wet side. Is it gonna get wet? No, I can tell the waves are small. I've grown up here, spent a lot of time in my life to know whether it looks like a big wave or a small wave. As Chris says that and gets overtaken by a wave. This is one, they always say, when you're at the beach, never turn your back to the breaking surf, because you never know when it's gonna be a really, really big one. Okay, but I don't have, it's okay, see, I can see what's behind me right here. All right, so this is a pretty cool vantage point. Here's the children's pool, here's the sand, here's the sea lions off in the corner. So let's go ahead and now that wave just broke right there. Yeah, I'm not going any further, I'm turning back because we want to keep a dry camera. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up as we walk up to the commercial district with the shops and the restaurants. All right, here we go. Okay, back to normal speed now. So Prospect, this is one of the major business streets here in La Jolla Village. Lots of cool old historic buildings, particularly the arcade building over here. They've got a French specialty store in there, souvenir shops, hats, lots of art galleries that we'll walk by. Cool historic hotel here. The Grand Colonial Hotel, established in 1913, so 120 some years old. Definitely classic hotel. Lots of restaurants out here with outdoor seating that will pass by. You definitely won't go hungry in the village of La Jolla, but you also won't be eating cheap. The food here definitely is gonna cost you a little bit of spare change. This street right here is the other main commercial street, Girard. We're gonna walk down this one after we've walked down Prospect. We're gonna walk on the ocean side of Prospect inland, and then we're gonna come back on the inland side of Prospect, and then we'll head down Girard to check out what's going on that street. So La Jolla, great place coming to San Diego to spend a summer afternoon. Also a great little like weekend vacation spot. If you were gonna be like touristing the rest of San Diego, I don't know that La Jolla Village makes a super great base, just because the traffic in and out of here is kind of rough, particularly in the summer, but definitely if you're looking to spend a lot of time just in and around the village, then absolutely stay here. This street, which is the continuation of Girard, is, if you're driving, what'll take you down to that La Jolla Cove, where we started the video, just down there. There's a bunch of cool restaurants, Dr. Juice, Natural Gelato. Oh, this place is super solid. Boboy, Natural Gelato, really good Italian gelato. Crab City, there's a little Taste of Himalayas restaurant if you're looking for Himalayan food. There's also another hotel right here with a little convenience store on the corner, the Prospect Market. It actually used to be a hotel room that they've turned into a little convenience store. This is the Cormorant Boutique Hotel. And it's also got a rooftop restaurant and bar, the Bird's Eye. This hotel on the left, this pink building, is the most well-known hotel in La Jolla Village. It is the La Valencia Hotel, probably one of the more higher-end hotels, really popular spot for weddings and special occasions. Cool restaurants, cool views from in there in this old school, kind of like pink Spanish mission style. California has a ton of missions that were built with the Spanish missionaries, and this is what they looked like, although I don't think most of them were pink. they were typically white. But you can see here, this is part of the historic hotels of America, and just a like cool even entrance right down there. Okay. Valet parking, if you're parking here. Yeah, definitely, let's talk about parking for a moment. Probably the biggest like con or drag coming to La Jolla Village is the parking. There is not enough of it. Most of the street parking here in the village is time limited. Some spaces are 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So definitely pay attention to the time limit of your parking spot. If you want to park for longer, you just got to get further away from the commercial district or pay to park in one of the parking garages. The parking garages can be really quite expensive. At the La Jolla Cove Hotel, the hotel that we kind of started with, my point over there, the public parking there was $20 per hour. Oof, that's expensive. Good news about the street parking though, it's all free. Like if you find a spot on the street, it's not metered, it's not paid at the time I'm making this video in July 2025. So you just gotta drive around a little bit to find some. Okay, we got, at high neighborhood, we've got jewelry stores too. Pre-owned Rolex sale right there, little gate before you go in the La Jolla Financial Building. This is an example of one of those parking garages. Let's see if they publicly post their rates. Here's the deal, you drive by, you can't park, you see a sign that says parking, you go in, and at no point do they tell you how much it costs until you get all the way down there, and then, well, you're probably not backing up, you're just gonna suck it up and pay in. I feel like that's part of the pay parking garage scam. There's a Duke's restaurant right here. Duke's from Hawaii, also one in Huntington Beach. Great views of La Jolla Cove and the ocean down there. Comprehensive menu of a lot of Hawaiian-inspired food. More, this isn't jewelry, looks like jewelry. It's, what, like lotions or skincare or things like that. I generally feel like anytime someone has to stand outside a skincare store and like haggle me to come in, probably don't want to come in. She didn't, because she's like, ah, that guy, he's recording. I could tell. She was profiling me. This is a public valet here. $20 for 3 hours to park at the public valet in front of the art gallery. One of the most famous restaurants here is George's at the Cove. They have a rooftop and then kind of a lower area there, known for great food. We've got Harumama noodles and buns for Chinese noodles and Chinese buns. And just so that you can see kind of like what the view looks like, we're gonna walk back in here. There's the eating up here, but we can walk on this top terrace level. There's some things coming and going in here. Coming soon, a ice cream shop, Tifa, chocolate and gelato. But you can see from this little second story bridge by the Morgan Stanley financial advisors to help, you know, watch the rich people's money, what that view looks like from the noodle and sushi restaurant. Just beautiful views out onto the ocean between the little two parts of this building here. Okay, we're gonna walk back this way to Prospect, past the other financial shops. For lease, this could be yours. This could be you could become a financial advisor here in La Jolla too. Okay, heading down here, back onto Prospect, back walking the way we were going over here. One spot that we're not gonna walk in because you gotta pay admission, it would be hard to do on this walk. A cool place to visit is the La Jolla Cave. Down this way near the Cove is the La Jolla Cave. Don't confuse the two, they are two different things. We started at the Cove. There is this place called the Cave House, Cave, C-A-V-E. It is a house that you go into and you pay a few bucks and you go down some stairs, like you go down a lot of stairs, and then you get into this sea cave that opens up right into the ocean. Really a lot of fun if you're kind of into caving and those sort of things. So that is one of my favorite places to take visitors if I'm doing like a San Diego tour. If you like lobster rolls, there's a decent spot here called Lobster West. I've eaten there and I enjoy their lobster rolls. It's part of this cool little International Shops arcade, one of these kind of like little noodle shopping arcades reminiscent of some of the laneways in Australia. The Lobster West, it's New England style seafood, and you can see some of the pictures of the lobster rolls right there. Voted the #1 lobster dish in San Diego. San Diego lobster, you know, like Mexico's really popular for lobster. You know, where'd all these lobsters come from? They probably come from Maine anyway, in a place like that. Cool coffee shop here, the living room coffee shop. You can see it's big on the inside. I don't know if you have enough light to see in that window, but they've got some pretty good desserts and cakes in there and just a chill spot to hang out. They've been an institution here in La Jolla Village for a long time. They've moved a few different locations, but if you're looking for a place to lounge, kill a few hours and have a sip, check that out. Art galleries. We've got some art galleries here on the left, the Legends Gallery. We've got National Geographic on the corner across from that La Jolla Financial Building. You can see more of the silhouette of the La Valencia Hotel right over here. Okay, we are now crossing Ivanhoe. Just as you look down this way, this is not many shops. There's a few down this way, but not too many. But solid place if you're driving around to look for parking. The La Jolla Post Office, 1 block to the left. We passed on this side, I didn't point it out. There's an olive oil store. Oh, olive oil, wine bar, gourmet foods, more art. The photography of Ian Ellie. Experience the wonders of the world. Expensive jewelry store with a security guard keeping the peace out in front. Got some high-end watches in the window. People often ask me about my watch right here. This is the Casio G-Shock Heathered Yellow. It's the color of that band for people that are watch snobs. Bought this one in Japan. Yeah, usually when I go to Japan, I look for more yellow watches. A lot of watches in Japan, and you know, the original home of Casio. I have a lot of yellow watches. This is the particular one I'm wearing today. All right, so we are now coming up on Herschel. This is a mini, there's like a few shops and restaurants that are down Herschel, but we're gonna go walk down Girard, which is the main one. But one of my favorite things here at the intersection of Prospect and Herschel is this cool fountain right here. It's got this kind of like ball that like spins on it by the water. Our 5-year-old daughter, the Curious Princess, just kind of like loves things like this, you know? Put your hand on it, try to stop it. Oh, you can get it to stop eventually, but the water pressure is kind of going to keep it going. It's hard to stop because it's pretty wet.
I gotta get my steps in.
Okay, I don't know. They're having an argument about why are you driving or why are you walking? Okay, definitely a lot of cars around here. FedEx truck honking his horn because somebody was running behind him as they're getting out of the parking space. Be careful. Everybody's like in a rush trying to get their parking spot because they didn't arrive on time for their restaurant reservation. I allocate like 20 minutes to drive around just to find a parking spot. That's typically my game plan. We got a Mexican restaurant here, Jose's, with some cool views also outside on this front patio. Serving the surf and turf burrito for $26.50. Remember I told you, La Jolla food, not cheap. Not much in the way of fast food here either. Most of the things are kind of like sit-down sort of spots. Les Macarons French pastries. You can get some quick kind of sandwiches in there too, it looks like. And crepes next door. Get your rainbow sandals at the California Sock Company, but get here before they close because apparently not enough people are buying socks. The store is closing.
I'm outside the California
Sad.
Sock Company.
This is kind of a cool shop, San Diego. Crystals and jewelry. I particularly like that they have a llama inside or an alpaca. I can never tell the difference. Was that a llama or an alpaca? Somebody who knows, please let me know. This is a classic bar and grill, the Spot La Jolla. They've been here for a really long time. Seafood, Chicago pizza, just kind of like old school vibe inside. What are the prices here? You can get a burger for $20, T-bone steak for $38. Okay, this is now Girard, so the main business street other than Prospect. But if you're looking for like shops and restaurants, this is where most of them are. goes a few blocks this way. And we got Sunglass Hut, we've got Life is Good, the original positive lifestyle brand, the Oppenheim Group Real Estate. You're looking to buy a house in La Jolla, millions of dollars. Like that's your buy-in. Figure at least $1 million. There's a School of the Arts here, the Athenaeum School of the Arts. Looks cool inside. Lots of art stuff. Okay, someone's drawn in there. This is the other side of that arcade building that I showed you. And the Athenaeum is this building, the Music and Arts Library. Been here since 1921 at the intersection of Girard and Wall Street. No, not that, not that Wall Street from New York, but same name. Okay, we're gonna cross the street here just because I like this silhouette here of the arcade building. I like the classic mission bell that's up on top. So kind of a fun place to take selfies or pictures down here with the historic arcade building. All right, this looks like a classic La Jolla afternoon crowd walking down with their Pete's coffee, with their Pete's tea, doing some window shopping on the side. This is a tasty French bakery, Parfait Paris. They have some really tasty French desserts, but they are going to be pricey. Figure about $10 is the price of admission for a dessert in there. Some clothing stores, Tubella. We've got Balboa Candy, which comes from Newport Beach, in fact, for Balboa Island. But they've got these like candy in the barrels, the taffies that you do by weight. And they've got a cool like drawing of the cove, the La Jolla Cove, right where we started the video there at Balboa Candy. Our daughter, the Curious Princess, she loves the Balboa Candy on Balboa Island in Newport Beach, their original home. I always like signs at these stores. Life is short. Your feet deserve handmade, machine washable, comfortable, and bunion-friendly shoes. That sign's not much fun. But this store, Geppetto's, cool old school toy store. There were still toy stores, so kiddos, bring them in there. Just set a budget for them before you go in. Across the way, we've got lots of the high-end athletic places. We've got Viore, we've got Lululemon. There's a Christian Science reading room over there. There's a Ralph Lauren over here. This store in blue, I always want to read it as fatherly, but it's Faherty. Faherty. Oh, that's such a hard word. Okay. Up here on the right, we have a super old school bookstore and art and office supplies. This is Warwick's. They've been around since 1896. They are a La Jolla institution. If you read and you want to support local small bookshops, definitely check out Warwick's. They have a whole bunch of like book signings, book readings, things like that. So this is a pretty cool spot. You can even play some chess out in front. Okay, on the corner over here, what do we got? Another store closing, CP Shades. Thanks for 5 great years. Blue Mercury, makeup and skincare. The Chase Bank with a big sign on the side that says art is good for you. Okay. What street are we crossing? This is Silverado. This building was built in 1924. A lot of these buildings, how do I know this? A lot of these buildings have signs on the side that tell you when they were built. I'm not that smart. People say, like, Chris, you remember a lot of things. I do, but I can also read signs. Not that one. It was back that way. Here's some houses. How much is a house around here? This house is $3 million for that house. This house is $1.5 million. This is in Pacific Beach, not La Jolla. So La Jolla, twice the price of Pacific Beach. Pacific Beach is the neighboring beach community, more south of La Jolla. Pacific Beach is generally considered San Diego's party beach, very popular for college students. The younger crowd, the older, wealthier crowd tends to gravitate here to La Jolla. We have a Ace Hardware on the right for your home goods supplies, you know, tell you how safe this neighborhood is. They just leave the stuff out here. Like, you've probably heard the news about like California, there's like a shoplifting epidemic that everybody shoplifts. Well, you know what? where don't people shoplift? Right back there. But I guess maybe nobody's shoplifting for their potting mix. You know, doesn't sell very well on the resale market, is my guess. Jolla, happy hour here. Little pizza place. King of Thai cuisine. San Diego has a lot of Thai restaurants, Thai food. Really popular here. Cool old school church over here in the corner. You can see, the other thing to be aware of when you're parking here, in addition to the 90-minute hour parking, is also the street sweeping signs. You know, they sweep these streets, so make sure you're not parking at one of the places during a street sweeping time. And most of the time limits don't apply on Sunday. So if you're here on Sunday, you can park for an extra long time. Okay, bus stop right here, bus number 30, if you're looking to take the bus to Jolla Village. And I need to stop for a moment and adjust my shoes because, well, it turns out my shoes, they did get wet that seawall as we were walking. So let me pause and fiddle with my socks and resume the walk. All right, socks adjusted. The bus number 30 has arrived. All right, turn the camera back around. We're gonna continue our walk down Girard here. This is Girard and Klein that we're passing. You can see the main walking district tends to fizzle out as you get this way, about 3 blocks. This is where the parking gets easier. There's a supermarket up here. There's a Vaughn's. If you're looking to get your groceries, you can pick up the local newspaper. There are 2 neighborhood newspapers that are free, La Jolla Light and the Village News. We've got the Trilogy Sanctuary plant-based cafe right here. People always ask me, Chris, where are the vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free? Looks like that one is gonna be on that list. This place on the left, the Floral Palette, is a cool store with another French pastry inside. The Parisian gourmandises. My French is not very good. Not very good. So, but I do like my French pastries, so that's a good spot. Faro and Ball, paint and paper. We've got some high-end, well, you can just see me walking. You can't really see in that window. Some high-end bathroom, plumbing, sink amenities. We've got ARC antiques for animal charities, consignments and donations. Old school antiques. San Diego has a pretty vibrant antique, that's the word I'm looking for. Antique industry? Is that the word I'm looking for? No, I'm not looking for the word industry. And antiquing is popular in San Diego. There's a lot of antique shops. There we go. You know what I mean, even though I can't find the word. Help me with that word. Okay, this is where Girard crosses Torrey Pines Road. Torrey Pines Road is the main road that you come in if you come in off the 5 freeway to get here. And this is the supermarket on the right. So if you're looking to pick up your cheapest eats, some sandwiches, some things like that, you can get them in here. I said it was a Vaughn's. They've recently renamed it Pavilions, which is the high end of Vaughn's, which means it sells all the same things it did when it was Vaughn's, just it costs more money now. Vaughn's, which is owned by Safeway, has done this to a few of the Vaughn's in San Diego, including the one in the Hillcrest neighborhood, which is also now a Pavilions. We got some people have thrown their bottles up there, like up in that sign, like on the L and the O and the N. People have thrown their like 20-ounce beverage bottles up there. Okay, we're gonna walk up to this corner here, Pearl Street, and then we're gonna take a right. But before we do that, I want to point out another really popular, like a popular breakfast shop and La Jolla institution is Harry's Coffee Shop. This place has been family owned since 1960. So if you're looking for a fairly inexpensive, reasonable breakfast, old school American diner, check out Harry's Coffee Shop. Diner, Chris, coffee shop. Okay, but like when people think coffee shop, they think of Starbucks. So it's not that. It is definitely like the coffee shop that serves food. Here on the left, there's an interesting shop next to the old school dry cleaners. That's probably been around as long as Harry's has, with that blue sign. The white building says, "You are a ghost, driving a meat-covered skeleton made out of stardust, riding a rock, hurtling through space." All right, thank you. Dunkin' Donuts over here. Get your Dunkin'. Actually, it doesn't say donuts anymore. It's just Dunkin'. There had a sign that says, "We only serve coffee and donuts in this location. Thank you for your understanding," which I guess means no food or something like that. On the left, we have the La Jolla Ocean Spa, more antiques, but the spa also has a sign under it that says hypnosis. So if you need to get hypnotized because you've got problems like, and particularly maybe got problems with too much money, then you can get hypnotized over there. Or with too much money, you can get an expensive motor car here at Jake's Motor Cars. Get yourself, a Bentley in here? Yeah, they got a whole bunch of Bentleys. You know it's an expensive car dealership when the whole dealership's inside. They don't have an outside parking lot. It's just an inside parking lot. All right, this, Pearl Street, another main commercial street. This one, you can see not that many people walking on because this is more of a driving street, but there is a really cool comedy place here. If you like stand-up comedy, this is the place in San Diego to see stand-up comedy, the Comedy Store. Many famous people have performed here. They've got their signatures on the side. Who's here right now in July? Those people. Andy Kaufman right there. He was one of the original players on Saturday Night Live. Jay Leno, David Letterman, Robin Williams. Can't bring the kiddos here. You have to be at least 21 to go into the Comedy Store. It is next to a wellness and fitness, physical therapy, training, cell phone store, Bevmo, bank. I'm going to speed the walk up because the beach that I want to take you to is down this way, but there's a couple restaurants I'll point out that I like on this street as we're going. Okay, seafood restaurants. This one here, El Pescador, solid seafood restaurant. Over here, if you need to get some surf goods, one of my favorite surf shops in San Diego is right back there, Mitch's Surf Shop. Chin's makes some pretty decent Chinese food in La Jolla. And also in this plaza next to Chin's, you can't see it yet, but the taco stand I think is the best classic taco shop in La Jolla Village. I really enjoy the carne asada burrito. If you want pizza by the slice, Pizza on Pearl has some pizza by the slice. And I've not eaten at the Empanada Kitchen and the 858 Burger, but this little plaza is like the hub of cheap, good food in La Jolla Village. There's a car wash over here. 20 bucks for the cheapest car wash. 50 bucks for the most expensive car wash. Okay, we're gonna pick up the pace as we keep going this way back towards the coast. All right, as we cross La Jolla Boulevard and Pearl Street, we now get to a golf cart shop where you can pick up your very own golf cart here.
So golfing in both?
Golfing in both places.
And these are even street legal because you see they've got license plates on them. How often do you see golf carts with license plates? Okay, we'll pick up the pace. Back to the beach again. Okay, as we see this sign, we are close to my favorite beach here in La Jolla, Marine Street, because the beach is of the same name as that street, Marine Street Beach. This beach, only street parking. I mean, I guess there was probably only street parking over at La Jolla Cove too, but no big parking lots here. No restrooms here either. No showers here, so if you need to use the restroom or the shower, you can do those over in the Cove area or where you got lunch or something like that. Before we get down to the beach, there are probably some people bound to say, Chris, you've missed something. I did. You know what I missed? I missed the La Jolla Museum of Contemporary Art. There's a really cool contemporary art museum here that's over on Prospect, back in the center of the village. If you enjoy art, definitely check that place out. And if you're someone who comes to La Jolla and there's a favorite thing to do or eat of yours that I missed in this video, definitely share it with your fellow explorers and drop it in the comments. Marine Street Beach is next to another classic beach just to the left, Wind and Sea Beach. To the left, to the south. Wind and Sea is one of San Diego's most famous beaches for surfing. It is one of the few kind of like rock reef breaks that we have in San Diego. Most of the beaches here are all sandy bottom beaches, but so you can get some pretty epic waves at Wind and Sea. If you're just learning how to surf, that is probably not the place to go. That's for the people that definitely know how to surf. Now, this beach, Marine Street Beach, this is a sandy bottom. It is a popular beach for boogie boarding or bodyboarding, but for people who also know how to bodyboard, because most beaches in San Diego have pretty gentle rolling waves. Marine Street Beach is known for its shore break, so the waves here, they break really close to the sand. You'll see when we get down there. So they're pretty shallow when they break, so you'll also want to be careful in the water here if you're just on the casual front. It is lifeguarded though. We can see the lifeguards here in the summertime, but we'll go ahead and watch the waves as we walk down. As we get closer, you can see it's pretty popular here in July. If you're here on a, December or February day, you will probably have this entire sandy stretch all to yourself, especially if you're here on a weekday. If we look this way, just about a half mile down that way or a mile down that way, gets us to La Jolla Cove, where we started this whole video. You can walk along the sand and along the rocks to get there. Same thing, you can walk along the sand and the rocks to get to Wind and Sea that way. Some people have set up their volleyball court right down here, but if we take a look at waves right here, we got someone on their boogie board. Let's wait for a little bit of a swell, shall we? All right, that was a lot of fun. All right, well, fellow explorers, if your travels are bringing you to San Diego, you might enjoy checking out my San Diego travel guide right here with everything you need to know to visit San Diego. Another cool neighborhood you might want to check out, Mission and Pacific Beach. You can check out my walking tour of that neighborhood, San Diego's Party Beach, and home to a really cool wooden roller coaster on the sea. Usually I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in the next video.